We've got Perry and Curran standing by. Phil, you first. What do you think of this?
I think this is a home run situation for the Patriots to have found themselves in, to get what is probably one of the few true blue chip physical talents in this year's draft at a position of need, a premium position. To have him fall to 14 was surprising to me. The fact that they traded out and still got him at 17, to me that indicates he wasn't necessarily their guy, right at that 14th overall slot. They had to be comfortable if someone else had had a chance to take him between 14 and 17 there. So they probably had another corner, maybe Maryland's Deonte Banks, rated similarly. But I think this is one of the best players in the draft, period. And it's a position of need for them. It's a premium spot, Tom. It's a home run, A-plus kind of pick.
When you look at their roster right now, they have a lot of shorter defensive backs. Jack Jones was really the only guy who qualifies as a pure outside corner. Now you add a guy who they absolutely had to have with Jalen Mills moving back to safety. We talk about it constantly, how many wide receivers they have to deal with in their own division, and with the schedule they have this year, they had to do this. It's a A+.
I said to these guys, Felger, before we came on, I said, I'm just shocked that they actually did it, actually made a move like this. It makes so much sense because you could see them going down that road, just like you said, Felger, up the top. Of course they traded back. So they're sitting there at 14. The New England Patriots have made a trade. I'm like, oh, damn, here we go. Pick up a fourth round pick. They're trading back to 17. They'll probably trade back again. And when they stuck and picked Christian Gonzalez, I was amazed. It was a really good selection. And as you said, Tom, you know, they got a bunch of short guys, 5'8", 5'9", 5'11". He's a legit 6'1", 6'1.5" with speed. So this is something we haven't seen in New England in a long time.
Why do you think he dropped?
I think there are a couple of reasons. I think, number one, there are some concerns with his overall tenacity, I think is the best way to put it, when it comes to playing the ball in the air, when it comes to tackling, getting downhill and run support. But he's willing enough and he's big enough to be able to sort of handle himself in those situations. And he's so smooth. He's so athletic. I think he might have been, pound for pound, one of the best athletes in the entire draft class across positions. Like, he is that gifted athletically that's why I thought he was a top 10 sort of pick, Tom. I think the other reason maybe he falls is because it's such a deep corner class. Corner-needy teams may have looked at the overall class and said, we could wait and we'll get a pretty good player on day 2, get a bigger person maybe in round 1 that we wouldn't be able to get something similar to on day 2 or day 3.
We heard from Matt Groh tonight. He said he was surprised he dropped a little bit as well. They said they've been on him since last year. So to me, you have at 17 a legitimate potential day 1 rookie starter, which is, that'd be asking a lot. But
I think
again,
he's got to be, though.
I was going to say,
virtually
17 overall, you got to be.
Take him there at that spot in the first round. He should start on day 1.
Talked a ton about the AFC and the quarterbacks in the AFC and the offenses. The Pats have done nothing to keep up with those offenses yet. I mean, really, this offseason, certainly the tight end was a slight upgrade, big upgrade over Jonnu Smith, but I don't know what that's going to really net. Does that concern you? You know,
yes.
Can they catch these other teams building the defense?
It's a really difficult way to do it in today's game. You have to, and this is where I know we're not talking about day 2 yet, but I'd be looking at upside potential at receiver on day 2 because you just got to get more dynamic offensively. Getting a tackle be nice. You need weapons. You need pieces that are going to scare opposing defenses.
Bijan Robinson went 8, right? Or he went in the top 10, kind of surprisingly.
Yes.
Do you think that would have been in consideration if he was there for the Pats?
probably not, just given the corner depth and the fact that when you really look at it, they only had one outside corner. And how the hell are we going to stop these other teams if we're just wandering out there with one outside corner? So probably not.
Gonzalez is the kind of guy who is big enough to cover Diggs one week and fast enough to cover Tyreek Hill the next week. That's why I think this is such a great pick.
Well, that's if he can cover.